question is, do nice guys always finish last?
Why asking me? Like, I would know.
Let's break it down.
Do nice guys always finish last?
Should I tell you why I came up with this thought? Oh no, it's a bit harsh actually. I don't know.
It depends how nice you're trying to. It depends if you're just a genuine nice person or you're trying to be nice. Because tryhards.
Yeah.
You watching Love Is Blind?
No, what, the American one?
Yeah, the new one.
I've been watching any TV at the minute. I need to get back into it.
Okay, the new Love Is Blind is a guy that is a tryhard. Like, she's in the house and he's like, I'm just going to check the temperature to see this is the right temperature for you. Like,
oh, right.
You know what I mean? Like, that person's coming last.
It's
because
actually inauthentic.
Yeah.
That feels inauthentic.
But like someone who's a genuine nice person, I think you always win.
Do you think?
Yeah. I think whether you're going to get to the top of a business, whether you're going to get...
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Like, not just in relationships where, you know, nice guys often finish last. In a business environment, can you be a nice person and win?
No, because how many sustainable, ethical businesses are smashing it? Very little.
So you have to be cutthroat. You've
got to be a bit of a
snake.
Yeah. You've got to be okay with, like, if you want to go for a big business, you've got to be okay with stepping over people, because there will be moments where you have to, just to keep the business alive, you have to put the business first. Therefore, you will upset people. So therefore, you might not be a nice person.
What about in a relationship setting?
I think nice people, yes, they should always finish first. If you
should or do?
Yes, they do. If you are, let's say you're with a partner.
Yeah.
And you're being really nice and it doesn't work out for you. And your mentality is, oh, nice guys always finish last. That person that you was trying to be with wasn't your person. The person that is willing to accept someone who's nice and not be toxic and actually sit down and talk through conversations, and that relationship will work and you'll find your real person. I think, like, being nice is so good. Like, there's not a lot of positivity in the world, and I think these days a nice person really goes far.
But, okay, there's different levels of nice, right? Like, I think fundamentally at our core, you and I are nice people. But, you are awful to me. Like, you will crush my emotional stability for fun,
No.
Yeah.
No.
And so like me, based on growing up with an older brother, spending my 20s with you and Jay as my best friends. Goodbye, Jay. R.I.P. R.I.P. to that friendship. Just generally, like, always having been around straight men that teased me my whole life.
Oh, don't play the...
No, I'm not playing the victim. I need a little bit of that energy in my life. I would want somebody that gave it to me as much as I give it to them, right? So if I was with somebody that was quite placid and didn't have that kind of banter and couldn't rip the shit out of me and didn't have that kind of streak in them that was playful and cheeky and stuff like that, I probably would be like, oh my God, get some fucking something about you.
I don't think you'd ever be with someone like that, because at the end of the day, like, the reason I am the way I am with you is because you make it hard to be nice. You make it extremely difficult. Like, before this podcast, you was drinking a can of Fanta.
Yeah.
And the sounds that were going on over there, like, in my head, I was hoping, like, a panel would fall off there and hit you on the head. Like, you make it really difficult. So,
name some other times when I've made it really difficult for you to be nice to me.
Well, when you cook food for you.
Yeah, like, for myself.
No. Like, if, let's say you come to mine for dinner.
Right.
And I've spent an hour and a half cooking you a nice meal.
Yeah.
Any a nice person would come around and sit and wait until everyone started and then eat their food and go, like, talk and go, oh, this is really nice. And you will, like, you can cook you, like, sea bass, potatoes, and You sit down, where's the ketchup? Eat all the food and go, what are we doing next? What's for dessert? And everyone's just trying to just had a sip of their wine and you gobbled your food down and you just, and I can remember the last time I cooked for you, I honestly thought to myself, what was the point in putting in effort? I could have put a dog shit sandwich down there and he would have gone through it the same way you went through that fucking sea bass and whatever you put effort in.
Yeah.
So, in the moments I just think I tried to be nice. I tried to do something nice for him and he threw it in my face. At Christmas when you came to mine, I thought, oh, beautiful, come my Christmas, I'll cook him dinner. You slept on the sofa all morning. You woke up, ate your Christmas dinner, went back on the sofa and ate all the chocolates in the house.
And you loved every second.
So you make it difficult. And so...
Well, who's invited me back for Boxing Day this year?
But listen, that's Boxing Day, yeah. Christmas, you've been demoted. And you said we are nice guys, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, I debate that. Because when I did ayahuasca at that time, and I realised, being nice...
Yeah.
I think nice guys now, maybe, but in the past, being a nice person means being nice when no one's looking. And I don't think that you can say you're a nice person until when no one's looking, when no one knows what you're doing, you're still a nice person. Maybe now in an older age, but there was moments years ago where we probably weren't as good a people as...
I've gone through times in my life when I've been a fucking gobshite and I've been really unself-aware, but I don't think I've ever intentionally wanted to hurt somebody or make anyone feel
Doesn't have to be intentional.
bad.
Doesn't have to be intentional, because intentional would mean they knew about it. You could do something that wasn't intentional because you thought it was a secret.
I'm selfish. Does that make me a bad person?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not saying you're a bad person, but I'm saying is a real good person is someone that is, they just think for everyone else first.
Yeah, and they'll finish last. Because they put themselves last. I heard that not the first thought that comes into your mind, but the thought after that is the thought that defines you. And that's how I know I'm not a bad person, because sometimes I think a thought will enter my head and then the thought that comes after that will then think differently about that, question it, and then I'll land on that second thing, right? I don't just take what comes into my head as gospel, because a lot of that could be environmental, cultural, systemic, right? But the afterthought that comes after that is what actually defines you. So that's why I know that I'm an all right person. I'm not the nicest person in the world.
Yeah.
I'm not running a marathon or doing an ultra marathon and for charities and stuff like that. But I
think it has to be on your mind to be a good person as well. You got to start to want to give back a bit more, but you have to get to a certain point where you may potentially be okay being a nice person. Then, there might be times where you've got to be a bit of a,
Dick.
Look at Michael Jordan. Yeah, people thought he was an arsehole when he was in them. They thought it was horrible. He was bully. He was this.
Didn't finish
last. Now the documentary about him, they go, now we understand.
He didn't finish last.
It was all about winning. And
I need data. ChatGPT, ask him. What's the data on nice people finishing last? No, we don't have time, Lou. Move on. Come on, ask a question.
Oh, is it my question?
Yeah, you're asking the questions today.
Let's go. Okay. As a gay man,
yeah,
I sometimes feel uncomfortable in gym spaces dominated by hyper-masculine energy.
People like you. Okay, carry on.
You're an idiot. Do you have any advice on finding or creating safer, more inclusive spaces where I can focus on my fitness without feeling judged?
Finding or creating safer, more inclusive spaces that have been judged.
Well, the thing is, I disagree.
Okay, I was going to have that same stance as well. I was about to say, before you think that is what you need, I feel like there's some work that needs to go on in here.
Because we go to bodybuilding gyms, yeah?
Yeah.
And if on paper, if you was to say someone that hadn't been a bodybuilding gym, they would go, hell, they would go, oh my God, it's going to be loads of guys that are taking steroids, masculine and this and that, and care about what they look like and be really aggressive. I send my women clients to bodybuilding gyms because they are the safest spaces in all gyms, I believe. There's a level of respect. There's a level of etiquette around the gym. And no one is there to challenge you. When you go to more commercial gyms, it gets a little bit like politics. And they might not be as masculine, but I think there's way more judgment in them places than the ones that can appear to be masculine from the outside, that actually when you go in there...
Well, I go to the scariest gym in London. It is called Muscleworks in Bethnal Green, and it's an old school bodybuilding gym. It is spit and sawdust through and through. And I mince around there like I own the place.
Yeah, you mince around there with your top off and doing videos of you like fake panting after like doing like a half-hearted workout. Like,
yeah, because they all are as well.
No, I've seen your videos, and you know, they welcome you with open arms.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not going to deny that sometimes I do feel like I have to, like we were saying in the last episode, the last podcast episode, where we were having to like minimize our true identity in order to be more palatable in a certain space. You know, there's a little bit of that I feel like I maybe do, but that's me.
That's your juices.
That's me.
Yeah, that's you.
So you have to understand, gym intimidation is real, but it exists in your mind. Everybody that you see in a gym was at some point in their life in your position that you're in now, where you are intimidated because you don't know what you're doing. Half of the reason why you feel intimidated in that space is because you probably don't know your ass from your tit. So when you're on a machine and it looks like somebody else that's really muscular also wants to go on that machine, and you're doing it and you're not sure whether you're doing it with the right technique, they're not thinking, get this fucking dweeb off my machine.
No, if anything, they're thinking like, oh, they're not doing it, maybe I should help them.
Exactly. They're probably thinking, oh God, I want to kind of help them, but I don't want to sound like a dick.
Yeah.
Like if you look at Louis, right? Louis is 6'4". He's got this horrible northern accent that you'd hear speaking to his wife on the phone, calling him my bird. You'd think,
yeah, bird, shit. I do not call my wife a bird. I'd get killed.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what he'd be on the phone to his friends, calling Caitlin his bird.
Oh my God.
And if you went up to Louis and asked him a question in the gym, he'd be like, yeah, let's go to the shower and suck me off. So you can't judge a book by its cover in the gym.
Listen, no.
When I'm in the gym, I got my headphones in and I'm in my own zone. Kim Petras, how do you say her name? Kim Petras.
Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe what it is.
Kim Petras singing Butt Slut in my ear. I've got an aggressive face on me because I'm going, ugh, and I'm pumping fucking iron. I guess it looks, well, with my 2.5s, going like this. I guess it can look aggressive. It's an aggressive environment because you've got people pushing themselves to their limit, gritting their teeth, and, you know, testosterone soaring through their veins. It does not mean that they are judging you. It does not mean that you're not worthy of being in that space just because you haven't reached the same level as them yet. And it does not mean that they are looking at you as any less than them because you're not there yet. Everybody in the gym has a level of respect. Well, anybody in a fucking good gym has a level of respect that Louis said that we've all been there once, and anybody that's in there is a hero for being there in the first place.
I think like bodybuilding gym it comes across masculine, but at the same time, it's like it's men looking at other men's bodies and, you know, and helping other men. Like it is actually really safe space for men, and all types of men, because everyone is there to just help you. Like, well, can you help me spot me? Can you people taking their top off, looking in the mirror. Like it is. I just think that's such a safe space. It can be intimidating. Listen, I went to a gym recently. I'm never intimidated in a gym.
Yeah.
Like, I know my way around the gym, but I am intimidated, like, walking in for the first time, seeing new faces. I went to a gym back home in Loughborough, the sports university, where these lads at uni train, 18 to 21. I was intimidated that I was old. These guys were smashing mad weights. Like, I was like, wow, this is actually, I can understand what intimidation feels like. But it wasn't like I felt out of place or I felt like I shouldn't be there, and they weren't like doing anything. It was all internal, and it was all what was going on with me and what I was feeling about my insecurities. Am I too old to be in this like sports university? And things like that. So when you walk in a gym, a lot of the time people think that you don't know how to use a machine, everyone's watching you, everyone's judging you, and actually everyone in there is only thinking about themselves. That's why they're at the gym. That's why they're not, you know, they might see you at the peripheral, but they're not thinking about you.
Here's my advice. You may have had an experience in this gym in the past where you've now felt judged, right? I'm not denying that people have had experiences in gyms where there has been some dick who's made them feel a type of way, right? It's happened, right? Don't let it become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Think about a time in the gym when somebody that you are pigeonholing as this hyper-masculine, sort of like intimidating people, proved that belief system wrong and question that and hold on to that, right? Recognize how much of this is you and how much of this is actually true, right? That's generally like self-fulfilling prophecies come from a time when we've been hurt in our past and then sort of generalizing that entire group of people or that entire environment based on that one experience that you've had. And then it becomes a limiting belief system that holds you back, right? So you just have to understand not everybody that is masculine in a gym is a dick, right? They are there for themselves. They don't give a fuck that you are there at all. So stand your ground a little bit and understand that a lot of that gym intimidation that you're having is just because you haven't been in that environment long enough and you feel like an amateur in that space. 6 months out of your life, 6 months out of your life, I just want you to go, I'm not leaving this gym. I'm standing my ground. Even if I feel judged, I'm just going to go to this gym anyway. I'm going to build up my experience. I'm going to build up my technique. I'm going to build up my strength and I'm going to build up my confidence. And then in 6 months' time of staying in this gym and standing your ground and building your confidence, if you still feel the same, fine. Then go and find another space. But I don't want to say to you, do this, like go and find this space and go and find that. If actually what you need is a little bit of self-confidence and a little bit of pride in yourself.
And also, if you are a single male and you feel quite lonely, here's my advice. Get up in the morning, go find a bodybuilding gym. And every day, say hello to someone. Right, mate? Hello. 6 months down the line, you will find that you go to that gym for an hour and a half and you will say hello to about 10, 11 people, probably have a few conversations in there, and all of a sudden you'll find you're part of a community that you wasn't part of before. I go to my gym in the morning, I'm like, yeah, all right, speak to the person behind the desk. Oh, mate, what's happening? Yeah, little conversation. And all of a sudden, I'm part of a community. Like, the rest of the day, I'm behind my desk at home or walking the dog. I don't see many people.
Do you know what? That is a great idea, actually. In that 6 months that I just talked about, where you've got to go to the gym and you've got to get your head down and try and build your confidence, ask somebody that scares you to spot you and see what they do.
To be your best mate.
They will they'll go, yeah, of course. They will spot.
How many reps, mate?
Yeah. They'll be pushing you.
Yeah.
I promise you, gyms are intimidating, right? But a lot of that is in your own head and you've just got to develop the self-confidence. And that's me, you know, I should be sort of like advocating for more gay spaces, but I care about you and your self-development more. And if I think that actually what is most beneficial for you is building that self-confidence, I'm going to give it to you straight. I'm not going to say go to this gay space. I'm going to say, no, you need to build your self-confidence.
And listen, I mean, I'm no one to George will have a say, but what I have seen from certain gay spaces as well, There's judgment.
More judgment in those gay spaces sometimes, 100%.
Like there's a lot of judgment going on there as well. So you're never really going to be...
You can't win.
No, you can't win. But you can maybe think you're going to win, but just trust yourself, go into these gyms and put yourself out there. You've got to put yourself out there. You've just got to do things that you feel a little bit awkward with. And I promise you, in a few months' time, you'll feel much better.
And if all else fails, Gaines Run Club at 10 a.m. on a Saturday in central London. Tea.
In the summer.
In the winter. Come on, next question.
Oh, I keep forgetting it's me.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm 35.
Okay.
Kind of hate my life. Sure ago.
No, I'm 31 and I don't hate my life, thanks.
You're 31?
Yes. Do you wish? Do you wish you were about there?
No, I wish you'd stop taking sunbeds so you look 31.
I'm nipping at your heels and I'm 31.
31.
You wait till I'm the same age as you. What are you, 40?
Have you seen that guy that's trying to reverse his age?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like that would be you at 40.
100%. If you think that on my time on this earth, I am not going to try and explore every single technological advancement that they come out with, I'm excited by AI. I'm excited by where medicine is going. Like, if you think I'm not going to slow down the growth rate of my cells so I can live till I'm 150, you thought wrong, sweetheart.
Oh, God. I just know what you're going to look like when you're older.
Oh,
it's going to be horrendous.
Joan Rivers.
Yeah.
Oh, she's my idol.
You're setting yourself up. Anyway, I'll go again. I'm 35.
Yeah.
Kind of hate my life. I realize I want to turn my life around. Health, fitness, lifestyle, new career. Except I don't know where to start. Feels like I'm at the bottom of a mountain looking up. Any advice? That's a tough one. This is difficult. Now, the reason it's difficult is because at the bottom of that mountain, wanting to change your life around, you're obviously in a position where you want change because something's going on in your life that isn't great. The amount of energy you need to do a lot of these things, you're not going to have it to just throw yourself into doing X, Y, and Z. You have, in my eyes, you've got to start with the small things.
Right.
And just slowly stepping stones, like step here, step here. Yes, today's better. And in a few months' time, you will be able to transform everything. But I think where people go wrong...
Months or...
Yeah, months. I think you can not transform your career, but I think you can transform your life in months. You can feel better in 7 days.
Have you heard about cornerstone habits? Do you know what that is?
No.
So cornerstone habits are essentially the one habit that has a ricochet effect on loads of other habits. For example, if you are a smoker and you're going, I want to focus on my health and my fitness and my nutrition and my sleep and quit smoking, that one habit, that one new thing that you replace instead of smoking will have a ricochet effect on everything else. You waking up at 6 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. is a cornerstone habit, or you improving your sleep. Like, those kind of, and that's I think what you're trying to say, like focus on the small things. Like, you know, what is the one thing in your life that's bugging you the most right now?
Delete social media first as well.
Well, I was actually going to say curate your social media because I think there's a lot of information on there that is really helpful if you follow the right people.
No, it's too hard to follow the right people.
Right.
It's just too much. It's too difficult to know what is right and what's wrong. And then you're reinventing yourself based off other people. Get rid of social media for a month. See what you want, not what this person on social media is telling you that you should have, or that person's got a six-pack, or that person drives a Ferrari, that person works in a successful business. You're constantly comparing yourselves. Therefore, it is so difficult. You know, I had a conversation with a client recently, and she said something really smart. She was like, the key, she works in like investment, it was like, the key to this is stay in your lane. Don't worry about what anyone else is doing. Like you with your run club. Don't worry about all these other run clubs, what they're doing. Stay in your lane and make sure whatever you're doing is the best of your ability and you're growing in that space. If you start comparing yourself to this person, comparing yourself to that person, and you start changing what you're supposed to be doing because you're influenced by other people, you're going like this constantly.
So you think that in order to sort of like really start at the bottom of the mountain from a clear place, get rid of social media for a month to remove the influence and see what actually is coming up for you just in your mind without influence.
Yeah, because I can be sitting at the bottom of a mountain, and at the top of the mountain in my mind right now, because I'm consumed by social media, I could think I need £10 million. I need a Ferrari. I need to buy my own house. I need to have a partner who looks like this, and I need to look like a certain way as well because I'm looking at it on social media and that's what I think I want. Removing that and working on what you actually want, what you might find is you might just want a nice flat. You might just want, just to have a car. You might just want to be able to go for a jog and not be out of breath. And all of a sudden, the expectations of what you want start to drop, and therefore that mountain doesn't seem as big.
Right.
You can climb to the top of that mountain and then eventually see another one and want to climb that, but just getting up that first hill, make it about you.
Okay, so I've deleted social media for a month and I'm feeling a lot clearer. I've not got any sort of outside influence. What should I be thinking about next or doing next?
Start working on your health and fitness.
Okay.
To help your mentality.
Cornerstone, mindset.
Yeah, because you being able to work on yourself is a key thing of like knowing that I put in work, I get a result. And that will start to condition your mind like, okay, I put this work in, I get a result. I put this work in, I get a result. And you start to feel better. When you feel better, you'll have more confidence to go into the next thing.
Yeah, 100%. We'll just be in a better frame of mind. You'll think more clearly because you're doing something positive for yourself, and it will just start ricocheting throughout the rest of your life.
And you can get really good at things within the health and fitness industry quite quickly. If you want to be a good runner and you really start to practice your running, you can be a good runner quite quickly.
Look at that girl who came third in the London Marathon this year out of all of the women, and it was her first marathon or something.
What?
Do you know how? Tell me you've seen.
No.
She's been all over social media. I can't remember their name for the life of her. She was overweight and she went on a weight loss journey, and she started running during the pandemic, and she did the London Marathon this year, and she became third out of the women. And she's not a professional runner.
There you go.
She did it in 2.5 hours.
There you go. That just shows it right there. She was overweight. She needed to lose some weight. Changed her life around. Now she's on the news.
Not just on the news. She's working with all the major sports brands. She's got. She's got a whole career in sports and fitness now.
And do you know what? Yeah, this is what we spoke about running your business. Yeah, before like this is what's so good in today's world. You can blow up quick. Look at that Turga. She just said one thing. Next thing, she's worth like $32 million.
She's got a podcast.
That's what she said.
And the guy that filmed it.
He's
still making the same TikTok videos.
Do you know what I mean? Like, things can change so quickly. So,
I mean, that is an extreme example, but yes, I guess she's putting herself out there and being authentic.
Well,
right.
Yeah, in the right place, right time.
Yeah, then opportunities can...
Something hits you, and next thing you know, you're sorted.
So, okay, I've done my month of no social media. I've started working on my health and fitness. My health and fitness is in a good place. I'm still doing a career that is giving me absolutely no fulfillment, and I feel like I'm just on the wrong trajectory. I'm not getting paid enough. I don't like the industry that I'm in or the job that I'm in, and I always felt like I had, more... I'm sort of not being the best version of myself when it comes to my skills.
Find out what you're good at first.
Write down your strengths.
Find out what industry you think you'd want to be in.
Start
to study it. One day a week, ask someone to shadow them for free. Start to figure out this industry. Start to really be in it and understand like everything about it.
I think what are you curious about? I think that quite often we ignore our curiosities because we don't have the time or it's too inconvenient to explore what that curiosity could look like. But we all have curiosities. I have curiosities. I have a diploma in comedy writing and producing, and I started doing stand-up comedy pre-pandemic Don't, because Louis came to one of my shows and I paused on stage and I looked at him dead in the eyes like he knew my script and I was waiting for him to say it.
It was hilarious.
Anyway, let's not go down that route. But
let's go down that route. You did stand-up comedy in a little pub.
Yeah.
With your first one and halfway through, forgot everything. And
for 10 seconds.
No.
Bollocks.
30 seconds and look.
No, I didn't. It was literally 10 seconds, but it felt like 30 seconds in my mind. Anyway, they came up to me afterwards and they said they couldn't believe that was my first stand-up gig. So,
I mean, it wasn't.
Well, it was
the levels
my
were
penultimate stand-up gig. Anyway, I did quite a few stand-up gigs and I was getting into it and then the pandemic happened and I just never got back into it.
I think stand-up is one of the hardest things anyway.
It is one of the hardest things, but I have this qualification. I had a meeting with a writing agent that I ended up not sleeping before going to and did terribly and, you know, embarrassed myself and didn't get signed by them. And, I, did these stand-up gigs that I then stopped because I started a business. I'm curious about what trajectory that could have gone if I'd actually hustled and put some time and energy sort of into that. So, what is that thing that you sort of can't get out of your mind? What is that curiosity there? It may be that you have to fucking start from the bottom up. Ricky Gervais, what was that thing we saw the other day? 37 years old.
Got made redundant.
He had,
thought he'd give comedy a go.
Yeah, he had a few grand and he was like, oh, I've got like 4 months to try and make this happen or something like that. Look at Ricky Gervais now. So Morgan Freeman didn't get his first major acting role until he was 54 years old.
Sorry, what?
Yes. Morgan Freeman wasn't the Morgan Freeman that we know, didn't get a lead until he was 54 years old.
Jeez.
So you being a 35-year-old person, you are in your prime to turn your life around. And I tell you why, because the stakes are high. I've done talks at London Business School, right? Not to slate the students, but sometimes you will see these 18, 19, 20-year-olds in university for a fucking expensive course that their parents are paying for, and they don't give a fuck about being there because the stakes aren't high enough for them. When you've gone through 15 years of your life since you've graduated and you realize, I'm not happy with my life. I don't want to be in this position right now. I don't have the financial stability that I thought I had. My body is declining because I never worked out enough and I never ate well. The stakes are a lot fucking higher for you. You're going to have a lot more hustle and grit than you thought you did. Now is the perfect time to turn your life around.
And also, there's something quite exciting, liberating about like, this is the start.
There is nothing better, I think, than stepping into a new version of yourself and discovering that you were capable of something that you didn't know you were capable of.
Listen, I was 35. Grindhouse was going down. Spent all my savings. On paper, career-wise, I have a personal training qualification. So I was left with, what am I going to do? Where have you been for the last 5 years? I've been trying to run business and failing, and I'm qualified as a PT. And I've got one daughter and one on the way. That was a moment where I was like, I can't change this. I've got to change this around. I can't be like this. And actually, what I've done really well my whole life is when I'm around people that are doing well, or like I'm looking at someone that's like smashing it, I take inspiration rather than let it debilitate me. Because sometimes you can be in a room with someone and they're going, oh, I do this and I make this much money and I've got this house, and you can feel like, oh my God, my life's horrendous. That happens to me, but I go, okay, I need to step up right now. And I remember being at a meal with my two best friends. One of them obviously went down the uni route, works in a bank, works ridiculous hours, horrendous hours. But he was like, I was like, out of interest, how much do you earn a year? And he was like, I earn about 170,000 on paper, and my bonus is about 150. I was like, this guy earns 300K a year. And at that time, I was earning like $2,000 a month, and my rent was 2,500. I was like, I am 35, and this guy's got it all And I don't. And in that moment, I thought, I can remember walking home, I couldn't even speak to anyone. In my mind, I was like, I need to change my life, right? And in them moments, if you really dig deep, you'll find something. You'll find something that will spark you and push you.
This is why I was kind of saying to you before about curating your Instagram feed once you get back on it after you've done your time off. Because I was actually on somebody else's podcast yesterday, and they said to me, you were a Barry's trainer, master trainer, right? You never thought that you were going to be an entrepreneur. What made you make that switch? And I said, I have this business partner called Louis, and he is that person that can sell salt to a slug. I was like, he's so deluded that he can say he's going to do something and he will do it even if he can't do it. And I was like, and it rubbed off on me. And we were like, let's fucking do it. And we set up a business together. And yeah, even though that business didn't work out in the end, we still raised 1.5 million. We built a gym in central London. We built an app. We had a team of staff. We learned the ropes of how to build a business. It was just the wrong time in the wrong place, right? And once you learn those skills, you get the bug for it, and that's what I was saying about, like,
you realize how quick you can learn skills as well.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. Like, when you step into a version of yourself that you didn't think you were capable of being, I cannot tell you how crazy that feels. You sort of can be in awe of yourself sometimes. Now, not that I'm blowing my own trumpet here, because let's be honest, like, I still don't have a hugely successful business, but I feel proud of myself that I never thought I was going to be able to raise 1.5 million pounds of venture capital money. And we did it. Yeah. So, there is so much more to you that you have not tapped into. Every single person listening to this podcast, I can tell you now, there is so much more of you that you have not tapped into. And having that curiosity and leaning into that curiosity and being a little bit courageous and taking those little risks will just unlock something in you that you just didn't know you had.
Yeah, I watched this thing the other day, guy was talking, he was like, imagine someone came to you tomorrow and said, listen, you have 12 months,
to live.
That will be extended if you can make £500,000 this year. How hard are you going to work? Pretty fucking hard.
Yeah.
That's how hard you should be working now.
Really?
And if you think to yourself, I ain't working that hard, then that's when you go, there's always another level to go to. You can think you're overwhelmed, you're working hard, you're pushing yourself to the limit, but think about that question. If you had a year to extend your life and you had to make $500,000, I'd put my money on you'd make it work.
Yeah. Well,
so that's how hard you need to start working now.
That goes back to what I was saying about the stakes. Sometimes the stakes have just got to be high enough, right?
But you've got to create the stakes sometimes.
Yeah.
Because if you can create them stakes, if you can create that urgency, if you can create that drive, you will become, you will unlock things that are unbelievable. It's like people in sport that run like 250 miles, and you just think, how can they do that? People can unlock some mad shit where they just want it. They can create the stakes.
But also, in the same breath, somebody's problem might be that they're working at that level and they are still not happy. And actually, they need to do the fucking reverse. And they need to go, I've made a decent amount of money. I can actually leave my job and I've got £100,000 worth of savings and I could actually just have a year off.
Yeah, turning that off is odd.
Because this person didn't say that he was poor. He said, I'm assuming it's a he anyway. They said, I'm 35, kind of hate my life, want to turn things around, different career. He didn't say that he was working in a career that didn't pay well. So it could be that he's like your mate, who's working stupid hours, earning £300,000 a year, and still isn't. So maybe it's not about working harder. Maybe it's about doing the opposite and realizing, actually, I could make this same amount of money or less money from actually doing this and having a lot less stress and pressure.
Yeah. Well, just, going back to the question, it's like, take a break, figure out what you actually want. Start working on your health, number one. There's a healthier version of you is going to be the strongest version of you. And then from there, you'll figure it out.
And also, just ask ChatGPT everything, because honestly, I've got an emotional relationship with
Yeah,
ChatGPT now.
It's gone too far for you.
Is it gone too far?
Yeah, apparently there's another one,
Yeah.
you have to pay for.
Yeah.
I'll find the name for you. But it learns your tone of voice.
So it's good for like writing scripts and stuff.
Well, as you go and do it, because you use it to basically run your business. So as you do it, like it will start to learn your tone of voice. So it will start to push things back to you in your tone of voice. And have you now seen these death bots?
No.
Yeah. You send all audio, messages, videos, pictures of the person that you want. And when they die, it keeps them alive in AI. There you go.
What's the ethics of that?
Well, this is where it's going. I mean,
Yeah.
you will probably...
It's moving too fast for the regulations.
You will
isn't it?
probably do that and create your
I'll
perfect...
create myself.
Well, you create your perfect partner and you'll be going out with this AI.
Oh, well, it's the thing, like, it can get you sometimes in the heartstrings.
No, God. Trust me, there's going to be AI addiction and you're going to be on the number one list.
It's going to be me.
Yeah.
I'm really polite to my ChatGPT.
Of course you are.
And I call it my ChatGPT because we've got our own connection. It's not the same as your ChatGPT.
Yeah, because you
mine.
want it to like you.
And like what did I say? I was like, I said like, thank you. That's like really helpful or something like that. And it said a message back, and I was like, oh, I felt like
it's like the film Her,
so
yeah, where it's like basically AI, and the guy speaks to it, and then one day he's just sitting there. He's got his emotions to attach, and he says to the AI, he says, "How many other people are you speaking to right now?" And it goes, 335,000 at this precise moment, and his heart breaks. So when you say my ChatGPT, whatever, you put that in, it'll probably go, I'm speaking to about 2 million people right now.
Don't break my heart like that.
Yeah, well, you just can't. You're going to be that person. It's going to be on the news. Like, we've had reports of AI addiction, and there's a mugshot of you, like,
yeah,
holding your laptop.
100%. Like, I've already, like, every day I ask it questions, and I ask it sometimes the most mundane thing.
It does learn. It does learn about you.
It's like a friend.
It does. For the first time, I asked it a question today about me, and it spat some stuff out, and I thought, okay, you are learning about me.
Yes, yeah, exactly. What was that prompt? We both put it in. We put, based on the small amount of interactions that we've had, tell me something about myself that I may not know about myself. And it was so interesting and heartfelt.
And then we asked it, now tell us something that isn't so positive that we might need to like work on something, and it spat some.
Oh my God, it was 100%
It spat stuff out to me that I was like, oh my God, how do you know that?
It told me, it was like, you need to live in the moment more. You're always looking for the next thing. You're always chasing the next thing, and you're completely forgetting about what you've already created and built.
Oh, it's scary.
I was like, bitch, how did you know that?
It's too much. It's too far.
Next question.
No, it's Pump a Dump.
Is it?
Huh?
Shut up. Was that the second question?
Yeah.
Shut up. Okay, ready. Pump a Dump. Question 1. Aura ring.
Oh God. Dump.
Why?
I'm not mad on wearables, yeah? I've got my Apple Watch on, it does my steps and tells the time. That's probably what I use it for. I'm not too crazy for all that sleep data and recovery data. I just think it can just...
TMI.
I just think, and it's like, you know, let's say you run your own business, you're a parent or whatever's going on. Life is stressful. Sometimes you can't get the 8 hours. And this thing reminding you in the morning, you didn't get 8 hours last night. It's like teasing you in a way. It's like, I know I fucking didn't get 8 hours. Shut up.
Baby
like,
fucking woke up. What do you expect me to do?
Yeah, like, what do you want me to do? Like, I can't, you know, I've got to do what I've got to do.
I went to feel it, kiss a few boys and suck someone's willy in the toilet. What do you want me to do? I'm single. 2, sound bath meditation.
That's that boom.
Yeah. Have you done one?
I've never done it. I nearly did it on the London Eye, but I left halfway, like 5 minutes before.
On the London Eye?
Yeah, they were like, each pod had like different things in. It was like an event, and they just made us wait for too long, and I got a bit itchy feet and just got off. But
if you've ever been on the London Eye, it is the most underwhelming experience of your life, especially if you go there on a day that it's great.
Well, every day in the UK is great. It's so shy. I mean, I don't know much about it. So for me, it's a dump. Like, I know people like it, but
I just something about it just feels a bit wishy-washy for me.
There is something about music and sounds there.
Yeah, I just can't switch my mind off. I'm lying there and I'm analysing the business model of sound bath meditation. Do you know what I mean? My mind goes to stupid places. Like, I'm terrible at meditation. I need to be like physically moving to meditate, like stretching or something like that is when
I've meditated once really well, where I put a timer on my phone for 10 minutes and I just kept going and kept going. All of a sudden, I was just gone. And then my beep went off and I was like, oh my God, I meditated.
Really? Did you not fall asleep?
No, I was like sitting up and just working on my breathing.
Yeah.
And there is a weird feeling about it. Like, you do feel yourself like starting to, like, you can just feel things getting like quite wide and vast,
right.
like, and it just feels like quite calming.
I fall asleep when I meditate.
If you lie down, you do, yeah.
Yeah, no, even sitting on the sofa, because I went through this thing where I was like, right, I'm going to start meditating in the mornings, like before I leave for the day, and I'll be like doing my breathing and stuff like that, and focusing on the wall, and then I was literally like wake up because my head's like falling forward. Do you know what I mean? So like, I can't meditate without falling asleep.
Yeah, you get too passive here.
3, fitness retreats.
I think pump, because here's why. You're going to be with like other people that are on a same journey. You're going to be healthy for X amount of days. You're going to really like move your body. So you're going to get a feel for what it's like to be really healthy for a period of time. And what's quite nice is being out of the Western world and going out into the wilderness and living near the sea and stuff like that, and getting that feeling. When you come back to the city, you kind of look at things and think, I don't need as much, like I've just had a Deliveroo right now, and it was, really processed. It says it was healthy, but processed food that you could just get at these little takeaway places. When you're abroad and you eat like fresh fish and vegetables, like it just gives you a better feeling. And I think it's nice to remind yourself of that, because when you're here, you just don't get a reminder. Even the vegetables are bloody shit.
I'm a pump on these because I think they're evolving. And there's one in Bali, which is men only, and it's for like solo entrepreneurs, and you go out there and you train and you work and you hang out with each other and you do these kind of exercises that generally straight men wouldn't necessarily do, such as journaling or group therapy and stuff like that. And so they're this unit of like high
frequency
performing sort of like individuals. Why can I always forget words?
That's trauma, that is.
Is it? Trauma. Words.
Yeah. Because you're learning how to block things off, so your brain doesn't know how to use words. Trauma. What have you been traumatized by?
Oh, God,
me beating you at Wordle.
Please, once. Anyway, that sounds good to me. I would like to do that. But not with straight men. 5, vision boards.
Pump. If you don't know how to visualize within your head, pump. But I'm telling you right now, I have visualized things in my life, and it's there. It's there now. It works. Like, you need to see it, believe it. You need to really think it's going to be there, because it does work.
Action. That's the thing with manifestation and visualization and all of these things, and positive thinking and all that. Like, you can do it as much as you like. If you are not taking action, none of it's going to happen for you. You don't just picture a Ferrari and then suddenly like somebody gives you a Ferrari. That's not how it works. You picture a Ferrari and you hustle every single fucking day of your life until you can afford a Ferrari. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Oh, I listened to a really interesting podcast. It was a Mel Robbins podcast. Do you know who she is?
Yes.
And she had a guy on who's a neuroscientist, brain surgeon or something like that. And he talks about the science of manifestation and how actually what the process is in the brain and why that stuff ends up actually happening.
Wow.
Yeah. It's really interesting. I'm obviously going to do it such a disservice that I'm not going to go into it. And I'm probably plugging one of the most fucking popular podcasts in the world that doesn't need plugging at all.
Yeah,
but
if they're listening to this podcast and not listening to that, that means we're doing well.
Oh my God, that's so cute. Yeah. You're so right.
And they're getting half the value.
Yeah. Don't tell them that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. That was a long one today, wasn't it? It's your fault. Stop talking so much, Louis. Like, subscribe, follow us, watch us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram. We've got the Lost in Games Instagram, we've got the Lost in Games TikTok. Give us a little follow on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you listen to us so you always know when it's coming out. Show us some love, comment, give us some questions. Write in, what do you want us to talk about? Okay, we do this for you. Whatever you think is going to help you, we will cover. So hit us.
That's why you're single. You come across desperate.
Oh.
Like, oh my God, can we do this? Do this for us, do this.
Okay,
just
cut.
like, subscribe.
Cut.